Good. Again, excited to be out, and guys are moving around well. Yeah, we bumped spring ball up. 6 weeks of all season. Really, with a majority of the team back, a lot of starters back, our entire staff, coordinators back, so we're able to speed things along and get rolling early. So excited to be out here, guys. Are moving around well. A lot of retention, yeah, a lot of returners back. So it's we're a lot further ahead. We were at this time last year, so it's good to see them moving around and being able to expand on our packages a bit. Good. I mean, a lot of it come from similar systems, and we've done a lot so far leading up to spring ball with our skills and things. So they've picked up the offense well. Of course, Garrett coming in ran the exact same system at Oklahoma State, so a lot of familiar terminology, familiarity with Coach H as well. So, but again, everything's been in shorts. Guys have looked good in shorts. So now we're getting a couple of days in helmets to fine tune some things. It'll be first day of pads on Thursday, and that's when got a lot of movement will start happening. Probably the biggest difference between last spring and this spring is right now we probably have 90 to 95% of our roster set. Last year we probably had about 60% of our roster because we still had a April portal window that we were going to utilize to bring a lot of other guys in. So we knew we were going to add a bunch after spring. Right now, for the bulk of our guys are here. We may fill in a couple of spots if we need to, but this is our team for 2026. So being able to really go all out and really expand and start working on the packages and see how much we could put in this spring and really get a look at everybody. Really execution of the fundamentals. Looking back, there was we did a lot of good things in 2025, but there were so many things we did not do well. We overcame it with playing our tails off and great effort. But really to take that next step, really to raise the standard, really try to fine tune those fundamentals and get consistent across the board. Get a couple of pieces answered really at corner position and safety there, and a couple of guys up front D line wise. And then really got to replace three, really the majority of our offensive production last year. We got to replace, we like the guys here, but bottom line is the lack of game experience. So really trying to grow those guys up as much as we can, put them in as many adverse situations as we can, and really try to build that confidence in the skill group. But that's going to be the focus, and then really expanding on special teams. Again, with 90% of the roster here, we'll get deeper into special teams than we did last spring. We got so many. We got 16 starters back, but really, Wes Thompson up front at the O line. Of course, all the quarterbacks. Aiden's done a phenomenal job, and Tavian Cord offensively. And those guys were natural leaders last year. And then defensively, the linebacker core, TJ Neal at safety, all those guys. You got 9 starters back on defense, so a lot of familiarity there, and really being able to now after getting through a season and kind of seeing the strengths and weaknesses of everybody, really kind of build a package around those guys coming back now that we know who they are.